looking at this Kool Herc as a hero, you don't even know who he is. And I'm like, well, who is Kool Herc? And then I finally got to a block party and I saw who Kool Herc was, and I jumped aboard right then and there.
Moe Dee, tell me your origin, beginning story.
I'm from Harlem, so it's a little different story. So for me, I'm listening to DJ Hollywood, and I'm same age as Caz, so I'm too young to go to the party, but everybody knew who he was. Everybody, the buzz was already around New York of what was happening. There was a club called 371 in the Bronx, and everybody from Harlem would go up to the Bronx to the party because Hollywood was the party here. And like I said, I couldn't go there. I was 12 years old. I couldn't get in there at all. So by the time I'm 15, the first time I actually see hip hop in terms of what I know it to be hip hop, I go to Norman Thomas High School. I'm 15 years old. First day of school, a guy comes out, puts a box down in front of the school, and plays "Blow Your Head" by Fred Wesley. And he does a b-boy thing. And all the girls start spinning around. We're like, oh my God, what's going on? He did a backspin, a freeze, and everybody blew up and left the school from that day. So I was actually shocked. So from that point on, I started studying what was happening. And the first person that really took me over the top was, I knew about her, but like I said, wasn't in Bronx and in Harlem. We didn't go up there, but I knew what was happening. But the first person that made me really pay attention was Grandmaster Flash. He came to the Audubon. I was only at the Audubon because I was old enough to go, and I wanted to see where Malcolm X got killed at.
Yes.
Because I was always coming for that. To this day, I still listen to Malcolm X every morning, quite frankly. I wear t-shirts every day. Everybody sees me in t-shirts. I wear Malcolm X t-shirts. So when you see me, you see Malcolm. That's intentional. So for me, I'm looking at it, and I wanted to go see what was happening. And Flash is doing the backspin, and the first time he premiered the backspin at the Audubon Ballroom. I might have did it before that, but the first time I saw it was at the Audubon Ballroom, and I saw the crowd go absolutely bananas. And Melly Mel was on the mic. He said, I make Alaska hot, I make Africa cold. Stop Nat King Cole from playing a role. Move on down his family tree, fuck his wife, and Nat to leave. I make him Timmy's hat, toot the horn in Timmy's hat, you can't beat that with a baseball bat. Melly Mel rocking the world from the World Trade to the depths of hell. And that was the beginning for the MC for me, because I said, I have to write like that on that level.
There we go. Caz, unbelievable. I wanted to get some of them early rhymes, because in a way, I somewhat looked at them as nursery rhymes in the beginning, but this is the foundation building blocks that becomes what this genre is today. Caz, tell me your story. Once again, you saw what Kool Herc was doing. There was a new energy and excitement bubbling. When you were Casanova Fly first, am I right? Please tell me the story and then how you became the lyricist.
Well, pretty much I've covered every element in hip hop. I started out watching the trains, the overhead trains, you know, in the Bronx going by and seeing the graffiti and the pieces on the trains, and I was totally enamored by the artwork. And I took pen to pad, and I did it in like pads. I never went in the yard or spray paint or nothing like that. Well, my penmanship game was so crazy. I had graffiti style penmanship, so I wrote that way. And then later I became a b-boy. I got down with a crew called the Casanova Crew.
Yeah.
On Cedric Avenue in the Bronx, and they were b-boys. And the cool thing about them, it was about 8 of them, and each one of them was named Casanova.
Okay.
Casanova something. So it was like a Casanova Brown, there was a Casanova this, a Casanova that, a Casanova that. So I gotta pick a Casanova name. So I'm like, all right, well I've always considered myself somewhat of a Casanova. So, and I love to look good. I love dressing, I love looking fly. So I chose the name Casanova Fly. So I became B-Boy Casanova Fly. And I used to dance with these guys for a while. But I danced up until a point, and then I snuck into the Hevalo one night. The Hevalo was the first indoor club, one of the first indoor clubs next to the Twilight that Kool Herc used to play in. I was too young to get into the Hevalo, but I would stand outside the Hevalo just to hear the music coming out. Maybe I could catch a song or something. I could go to the record store, go to Crazy Eddie's the next day, and be like, yo, you got this song? And go like this, na 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 na, that, boom boom that, and they look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But But that's what the first sampling, basically hearing something and then trying to translate it to someone else. And when I snuck into Hebelo, I'll never forget this. There was a doorman at the front, and they was like strict as far as letting young people in. And one night I was standing outside, and he blinked. And when that eyelid went down, pew! I shot up in that mother, and I hid behind a speaker for an hour. And I watched how the music manipulated people. I watched how every song Kool Herc would put on, it would make people do something different. All right, at one point he threw on the brakes, and they would make a big circle, and everybody would get in a circle and start breakdancing. And then at some point he would play disco music, and then you would start hustling with the girls. And then at the end of the night, he put on a slow jam. So you know, people used to dance slow jams in hip-hop parties in the early days. That was at the end of the party where they let you know when you hear the Delphonics come on, oh, you're gonna love me, you're gonna wanna hug me and squeeze me. Time to go. Okay, and that just enamored me. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to just dance. I want to be the one person that's making everybody dance. All right, and so I adapted the DJ mentality, and I became a DJ. Every DJ got a microphone in front of them, which was first just used to make announcements. Okay, check 1 2 1 2. Vampire Freddy, if you're in the house, your mother's at the door. You gotta go. So the music come back on, we continue dancing. Well, Freddy's leaving, but the rest of us gonna continue dancing. And that's how the microphone came into play. So from one element to the next, I just graduated to one, and I landed as an MC.
Wow, great story, which I never heard. So now, Moe Dee, initially, tell me the story, because I remember first hearing about you as a part of a group called the Treacherous Three.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that. I know LA Sunshine, Special K, and Spoonie G.
Spoonie G and the Treacherous Three. That was the whole thing.
Wow, Spoonie G was one of the first rappers to release a solo record that was hot. But talk about you developing as a lyricist as well as the development of the Treacherous Three.
Similar to what Caz is saying, we had parties in the park, Harlem World, outside in the park, and people would come and listen to music, but it was kind of like you had to dress up. The older cats had to dress up. And because they had puberty, which I put it together because I was always a scientist, very young, like if you're 13 or 14, you're trying to get the girls. So you're not trying to get on the floor and dance and break dance and do anything like that. So when Hollywood was doing his parties, the guys would all, the hustlers or whatever, would all come out of the party, and they would all try to be fly and outfly the next person, whoever the flyest person was. But the fact that I noticed very early, and because I would say I'm a cool nerd, so to speak, but I never smoked, never drank, never got high. So I chose the name Kool intentionally because I said, what's cool is I'm not doing that shit at all. And I was really, really, really nice with my hands. And I'm not exaggerating. My friends that know me, I really thought, y'all gonna laugh, I really thought I could beat Mike Tyson. Whoa. And I'm older now, I just said, my adjustment is he wouldn't have knocked me out. Because I was a defensive savant. And most people think you fight, I'm gonna poke you up, I'm gonna do whatever. And they trying to get a punch off whatever. And my thing was, I'm gonna be right in front of you. My first rhyme was, you couldn't touch me if you snuck me, because you're not gonna hit me. So my ego was on that space already. So I was already writing rhymes from that space from fighting. So just looking at it from that and choose my name Kool, I started paying attention to who's saying what. And that's why the Melly Mel thing hit me so hard. When he said, I'm gonna make a Tibbetts hat and you can't be bad with a baseball bat. I thought that was dope because he was giving you metaphors and giving you analogy. From the top of the world, trade the depths of hell, like the highest height to the lowest low. So I started putting that thing together, and I said that's the way to make the rhyme at the very least, to separate yourself from this party. And the party MC, and I love Busy B. And let me clarify this, it was not a battle.
It wasn't. Busy B is in the building too, by the way.
Yes.
Word up, salute.
He did. It was not a battle, it was an MC contest. And I said yesterday, I joked, I said, Dougie Fred, I said, Caz and Dougie was in that contest. So I beat them also. So really, it wasn't it wasn't a battle like that. I just got on before Busy Bee and said a rhyme and made it about him. And everybody takes the tape, and I learned early that how people perceive it is how it's going to be remembered. So unfortunately, people looked at it like it's Busy Bee battle, but it was never a battle.
It wasn't a battle.
So my skill set was actually coming from a state of arrogance. And just on that note, moving forward, quite frankly, the first MC that I ever heard in my life, quite frankly, because the MC has an ego. That's the first thing that happens with us. We are, like the billionaire said earlier, we think we can do anything. We think we can be anybody. And I really, the first time I ever thought, and I heard somebody said, I might not be better than him. The first time was Rakim.
Whoa.
That was the first MC I ever heard in my life that I said, oh shit, I might not be better than him. Damn. But
You never considered me in that? Just saying.
Remember, we're dealing with ego yet, so. But what that did for me is because it takes me, I'm a spiritual person first. It took me out of my ego into my heart and my spirit. And my heart and my spirit was that I really loved what Rakim was doing. And I thought, damn, I have to consider, am I better than him? I'm thinking like that from an MC space. But I love him genuinely. So I said, the real thing is I love him, so it is what it is. And you like what he's doing, so give it up. So that's the first growing point in my